Hi everyone. Today I'm making another video, and this video is on the Adventist church history of South India. It means the beginning of the Adventist church in South India, and also the beginning of Spicer Adventist University. So those who are Adventist from South India and those who have studied in Spicer College or studying in Spicer Adventist University right now. So this video is really a good video for you, because I'm also making this video for the researchers, because sometimes this subject is very boring and people don't want to research because there is a lot to really search. And but if you have some guideline about what has actually happened, then then you can even find more, or even you can criticize somebody, or you can show some other sides of it, right? So that is the reason actually I'm making this video also. So please watch this video and enjoy the video, okay? So now, how did the Adventist work started in South India? If I ask you this question, okay, what do you have? How did the Adventist work started in South India? Tell me. You see, so possibly you have nothing, or maybe you have something that you know that maybe somehow it started. So we actually do not have time for this kind of subject matter, right? But it is important to know. If you know, okay, it is good. So I will just explain to you. The thing is that let me give you some background. Like if you watch my last video that I had made on how the Adventist work started in India, right? You will see that in 1892, G.C. Tenney had first come, and after that he had sent three literature evangelists, right? A.G. Stroop and William Lenker and other Australian missionaries. They had come to India, and they had actually they were colporteur, they were literature evangelists, right? And then you see that 1895 that D.A. Robinson had come from Europe to open the first mission station in Calcutta, right? And also you will find that those Bengali families, those who had accepted, and were converted to Adventism for the first time, right? And the Adventist Mission Station had already started in Calcutta, and that became the headquarter for entire India. But then if I go on a little bit far, like I had also tell how D.A. Robinson was working, and then Dr. Palace was working with him. But then D.A. Robinson had died in 1898. But then in the beginning of 1900, J L Shaw had come in the field as superintendent. But by that time, actually, there were already 5 divisions in India. They had made 5 divisions to work. They had made 5 divisions. So one is in Myanmar, Burmiese division, then Bengal division, then Bombay division, then South India division, and then West India division. Okay, these 5 divisions they had made to work, right? So, but then you do not really find any worker starting the work in South India or in Sri Lanka or in Myanmar before 1904. The first missionaries had gone to Sri Lanka in 1904, and the first missionary also had gone to Myanmar in 1904, and they were sent by J L Shaw, okay, the superintendent. So the first missionary in Myanmar was E B Meyer, okay, and his wife, and they had went to Myanmar in 1904, and they had started the work among the Burmese people in Myanmar, okay. And also in 1904, Henry Armstrong was sent by J L Shaw to work in Sri Lanka. So and Henry Armstrong is the first one who went to Sri Lanka to build the first mission station, and he is the first missionary in Sri Lanka, okay. But on his way, this Henry Armstrong had actually stopped in Madras, and he explained the beauty of Madras, and he wrote a lot of things and then about Madras, and then he went to Sri Lanka to work. So after a year, in 1905, in the month of April, J L Shaw decided to visit Henry Armstrong in Sri Lanka. When he went there, he also had visited Madras, and he stayed in Madras for a while. And during this time, he actually explained about the people of Madras, about the culture of Madras, and about the climate of Madras, that how beautiful it is. He also give a hint that he will start the Adventist church work in South India, okay, after he returns, okay. So then after he visited Sri Lanka, then he had come back to Calcutta, to the head office. And after he came back to the head office, he had called and sent E B Meyer and his wife and another girl. Her name is Miss A Orr, okay, from Myanmar to South India to work among the Tamil and Telugu people, okay. So they were teachers, they were Bible workers, and also they were literature evangelists, okay. So it is in the middle of 1905 they had come. These are the first missionary who had started the work in South India, was E B Meyer, his wife, and the girl Miss A Orr, okay. And they got familiar with that place, especially they had stayed in Tinnevelly, okay, district of South India, which became very familiar to them. But then after 2 years of work, E B Meyer and his wife and the girl was sent back to Myanmar to work there. And in January 1907, J.S. James and his wife, and with her there was another girl, his name is Miss Shryok, okay, Miss Shryok. So these three had come to Tinnevelly district to open the treatment rooms and school and open a mission station. They had rented a house first and used half of the house for treatment rooms and teaching the Bible lessons and schoolwork, but half of the house they used for living, okay. So that's what they did. So this is in 1907 in January, right? So in the middle of 1907 there was a plague. Actually there was a plague, and during the plague all the missionaries of whole India had to go back to their country. So all the missionaries from India had gone back to their home countries. But then the missionaries had again returned in January 1909. So on January 4th, 1909, Brother James, his wife, had come back to Tinnevelly district again, and he rented a house from a teacher, okay, at Nazareth, Tinnevelly. So this is another new house, and they had started the school work there this time, okay. They had started a schooling work like this to teach the children, right? So then in the month of February 1909, Dr. Shaw and Dr. Menkel, okay, had visited Nazareth, Tinnevelly, and they had laid a plan and purchased a land to build the first mission station with the mission fund. And they had started the building projects and for a bungalow, school, and a treatment rooms where J.S. James, his wife, and other workers would stay and work, okay. So this was in February. So now the building work had started there. This is the first mission station, okay, of South India. And then we see that by October 1909, in their house, the school that they had been running, it had already 60 students. So in October 14, 1909, the bungalow was already completed, and then there was a dedication service, and in that service there was 125 Tamil people had attended the service, okay, and it became the first mission headquarter, okay, in South India. And so the school that was in the house, they were transferred from there to this mission station, and by January 1910, the student raised from 60 to 84 students. Okay. In 1910, Brother G Lowery had joined the work of South India, and he was made the in charge of the Nazareth school at the mission station, and Brother J.S. James was made the superintendent for the field of South India. So that is how the first mission station was actually built. Okay. Then the first mission school in South India. Okay, so that you saw at the beginning of the work itself is a combination of the mission work, literature evangelism, and also the school, and all these things was combined, right? But then the students had increased to 84 now, so they have to build a school, right? They have to concentrate fully into a school. So what happened is that because the school was growing, and the board decided to buy a land for a boarding school and to build dispensary and the church service purposes. Okay, and then they have found another suitable land in Pragasampuram, Nazareth, Tinnevelly, and to build a school. And the registration of this school had started with the government in February 1911. Okay, so this is the first school that they had. Okay. In June 2, 1911, the school building in Pragasampuram was dedicated. And by August 1912, the student reached to 160. And great teachers like G Lowery, E Thomas, and Arputam Asiwatham had been planting moral seeds among the students. Okay, these grew the demands for higher education and training, and the school kept growing. Then we see in 1914 there was a war in Europe, and during the outbreak many missionaries had come to India to work in India. And also during this time, a biennial conference at Calcutta Headquarter was conducted from December 18 to 28, 1914, when the General Conference President A.G. Daniels had conducted meetings in India. And he encouraged the Indian Adventist Mission to focus on institutionalization rather than the local businesses. Okay. During this time also, Pacific Press Publishing Association, Mountain View, California, had donated rupees 3,277 for lithograph press for 5 divisions, okay, in Bengal, Burma, South India, Bombay, and West India, to produce literatures in Bengali, Burmese, Tamil, Hindi, and in Urdu. And also in South India especially, the workers and the students from Pragasampuram School had also went to Pandisari and Trisinopoli and Nazareth and other area also to spread the literature and also to preach the gospel. So the students, they work in the school, they also did literature evangelism and canvassing to earn money during their holidays. So here is the starting of Spicer Adventist University. Okay, as we know that by January 1915, the Pragasampuram School already had 160 students, and also Brother Morrow from Europe had joined the school because he was also an expert in educational institution. Okay, so it was a great help for Brother G Lowery and J.S. James. In the month of February 1915, Brother J.S. James and G Lowery had visited Nagercoili, Trivandrum, and Quilo in the state of Travancore valleys of the Malayalam country. Okay, and after that visit, they too had visited Coimbatore for the first time and found a land of 4 acres. And in that land, there were 3 large houses, and they were actually warehouse for the cotton mills. So what they did is that they, in one of that house, they made partition, and in one side the boys, they stayed at boys dormitory, the boys stayed. The other side they had did schooling. Actually, the other house was used for the girls to stay there, and the third house was used to make it a bungalow for G Lowery and the workers, those who would be working there. And brother Ganasigamoni and brother Chinadoria was sent from Pragasampuram and Nazareth to Coimbatore. By July month, everything was ready, and in July 12, 1915, the first schooling had started in Coimbatore School. Okay, it means in Spicer Adventist University. The first schooling started on July 12, 1915. Okay, and that's the reason I'm saying that actually the Spicer Adventist University should celebrate 12 July 1915, because this was the starting of the schooling of Spicer Adventist University, right? So they should celebrate this day. And G Lowery was in charge of that Coimbatore school, and Mr. Sina Doria was made the headmaster, and Mr. Ganasigamoni was appointed as the boarding school master and teacher. Okay, and they had opened 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th standard. And those days, that is the higher secondary school. At Coimbatore School, in the beginning, they had 8 higher secondary students, 4 from Pondicherry, 2 from Telugu country, and 2 from Coimbatore, who had attended the first schooling at Coimbatore. Okay, and most of the students, they had studied in this Pragasampuram School. Okay, so the students raised to 13 in next month, and then in 3 months time there were 25 students already. And by October 1915, when they start the second enrollments, the student reached to 28. So that is how the Coimbatore school grew. And then later, when you see that the school grew so big, and then it moved to Pune, and then later became Spicer College, and now Spicer Adventist University. So isn't it wonderful that the starting of the Spicer Adventist University was on 12th July 1915. So let us celebrate 12th July every year. Thank you. Now, before I end this video, I want to also tell you guys, please download this video. You can go to Google and look for VidMate 2017, and then with the VidMate 2017 you can actually download any YouTube video. So you download and you keep this video for you. Okay, I'm in a situation and I'm making this video, and I want the other people to work on history, because there is a group of people, those who are behind me since 2012, and they are attacking me, and they're influencing so many things to destroy me. And I'm in a situation today that I am in a really great danger, and something may happen to me. So I just release these videos for you so that you can have it and also you can encourage each other to study history and keep the history for the future, because there is so many things to learn from the history. Thank you.